Why do I cry?
Oh.
Why do I cry tears? Why does my sandy vagina bleed blood?
Welcome to episode 7. There we go. No, we'll start with that. Okay. So, I'm gonna let's start with James Bond because it's episode 7. Skyfall's coming out. Do a bit of a Bond recap, review kind of type thing. First off, let's see where everybody stands. Favorite Bond.
Let me recap. The last Bond. All the hype generated from the first Daniel Craig movie, Casino Royale. The Bond after that, Quantum of Solace.
Balls.
It just crashed that ship.
You know what? When I saw that movie, I was like, was I drunk when I saw that, or like, am I high? Like, I was like, I have no idea what the fuck is going on.
Yeah,
and
that's kind of the reaction that I had too.
Yeah, there was like no story that kind of went from start to finish. It was just like one scene and then something completely unrelated. But he was still in it, and I was just like, what the fuck did I miss? Did I fall asleep? And shit like that. And I was just like, but everyone seems to have that reaction. It was just like, there was no story. It was just like a montage of like weird scenes and stuff.
They're missing it.
Is that the one with the ice car?
The one that goes invisible in the ice
That's
car?
World is
like
not enough.
over the top, like.
I got it. You know what?
World's not enough.
I like that one. No, it was Die Another Day.
Oh, yeah, that's the one.
That was the last Pierce Brosnan one.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's the one
He went out with
I refused to watch that.
Totally.
But I loved it because I like James Bond to be like a bit science fiction-y, and he has like shit that's like not even remotely possible.
Yeah.
I'm saying like again. I really need to stop saying like after watching these things.
Every time you say like, what's the consequence?
Slap yourself.
Just you go.
Okay. I will embarrass myself every time you say like.
Okay. Apparently that works. So. I'm just gonna substitute with something else like. But yeah, James Bond I think is better if it's a bit science fiction-y and there's things that are not possible because of our like current technology and stuff. I'm just trying to not say like. I can barely think.
You just said it.
That's what it is. But that one was all right. Die Another Day was like entertaining. It was a bit over the top, but I was all right. That was all right. That was it.
I didn't watch it.
It was good, but the only part that I thought that was like really over the top was when he was like fucking kite surfing a tsunami from a falling glacier. And I was just like, this is like I can do this.
How many movies has this been in?
Yeah, I was like,
there a part with like a giant laser. Or
from space.
Yeah, from space.
That's the part where I was like,
him.
I think I walked in on it. It was like watching it at home. My brother was, and I was just like, no, that's enough.
You walked in on your brother?
Yeah, while he was watching that. Did some other things.
It's like, man, it's not even a scene with Halle Berry.
It's a laser. Get your Chris, I'm firing my laser.
Got a thing about Aston Martins. But I don't know. I like that movie. It was a bit ridiculous, but yeah. Pierce Brosnan, I'd say, is my favorite modern day Bond.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I felt like that's like the more kind of no. I think each Bond has their own unique thing. Pierce Brosnan brought the whole like
they're different
sci-fi ridiculous stuff. Oh yeah, there you go. I don't know much about the older one. What's his name? Was it Sean Connery?
Sean Connery.
Yeah, he was all about like his kind of suave, debonair kind of thing, right? And the newest, Daniel Craig, brought a human, interesting character who was dynamic, and they actually had interesting characters and cool stories and plot lines. And then Quantum of Solace, they went back and they tried to do the whole Pierce Brosnan thing. It's like, let's just explode some shit and throw some cool stuff in there, and then nobody cared, and they lost all the momentum.
It wasn't even that. It's not that they tried to go in a different direction. It's just like the screenplay was retarded. It just didn't make any sense. It was just like a badly written movie, I'd say.
I waited the whole movie, like, okay, when's this going to pick up? When's it going to get started? When's it going to start? Big explosion. Maybe that's leading up to the climax. Oh, the movie's done. Oh, dang, that was the climax.
Man, I've had sex with
Is this the first one?
Is it in yet? Is it in yet?
Is it in? Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I like the new ones though. Like they're making him more real. Like he's getting hurt. And he's like beat up. Like point of death. Like
Casino Royale was.
The other ones are he just fucking runs around karate chopping everyone.
Yeah.
Doesn't get hurt the entire movie.
Not a scratch on him. Yeah, Casino Royale actually like falls and.
Oh, and there's that whole like ball whacking torture scene.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty fun to check.
Yeah, I know.
Creative.
I was kind of
sexy ball.
I found it hard to take that seriously, but at the same time, I was like,
Damn.
I was like,
I guess it would really hurt.
It would hurt. Well, who was the girl in Casino Royale? It wasn't fucking Catwoman, was it? It was somebody else.
I can't remember.
Anne Hathaway.
It wasn't Anne Hathaway for sure.
I tend to go with not really recognizable people aside from Halle Berry. And there was actually the Pierce Brosnan ones did go with recognizable women for a while.
Yeah, man. Well, there was Michelle Yeoh, she's a formidable partner, but not the most attractive.
Yeah, I don't know who that was.
Oh, you don't know who that is?
I know who Michelle Yeoh is.
Oh,
Okay. You go back. I have no idea who Casino Royale was.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Orrie, favorite blonde.
Did you say
In
blonde?
general, or?
We'll do favorite blondes and then favorite blondes.
Oh, I thought we were saying blondes too. I was like,
Okay.
In general or have done?
Favorite Bond. I think Pierce Brosnan, because that's when I really started watching Bond.
Yeah.
You know, that's when I started getting into it. And
Goldeneye.
he's always so dashing. You know?
He is like a good balance of like swagger and
Exactly.
like looks, but he can also like.
It's the man I've always wanted to be.
That is what Bond represents.
Yeah.
Calvin.
It's got it all.
Pretty much. My favorite? Probably Daniel Craig, I'd say.
Specific
Really?
movie though, yeah.
You know, my biggest problem with him is that he doesn't look like Bond. He doesn't match like if someone was to describe Bond, it's not fucking Daniel Craig.
I think that's why it's interesting because they're trying.
I agree.
An
Like, he's
English
all like
guy,
rugged and.
Well, it's not
Definitely
even that.
rough
Like
around the
Bond can
edges.
be rugged, but it's like
Doesn't have black
I
hair.
feel superficial bringing it like saying it like that. But he's like he doesn't have dark hair. He's got blue eyes, and like that's pretty much the biggest problem.
Now I pay attention.
That's why you hate Germans.
He is.
You know his eye color?
Bond is not an Aryan white person.
He knows his eye color.
No, I think I kind of agree with you, but for me it's just because he looks
I think
just rough, like just so rough compared to.
all the other suave
Yeah.
up there, like Timothy Dalton and shit.
I mean,
Who's the one
Well,
guy
Pierce
who
Brosnan.
The other Bonds don't even really look.
He only did
like
one.
Like ripped or anything.
not really.
Yeah,
but they're always
he
like
was an American dude.
they're like clean,
well put
you know.
together.
They're
Daniel
things
Craig
so
is
Yeah.
smooth. Daniel Craig's like I get in there, I get cut up, beat up, and then
A lot of people thought it was
But it's
weird
early
that-
Bond though, right?
True.
It's him.
I mean, that's
before.
I guess actually, are they still kind of going with that? Like, because well, there's the whole
I
problem
think they
that
did
no
that
one
all
understands what
quantum.
happened in Quantum of Solace. But
Yeah.
Casino
That was
Royale was a prelude that was actually based off the first Bond book that Fleming
Quantum of
wrote.
Solace, they were trying to steal water, weren't they? To
So
make
I
the
remember
world's
something
biggest
about
water
that.
park.
Something like that.
Some, I don't even know.
Ridiculous.
I would have cheered for the villains then. Water park.
Yeah, that's amazing. A water park.
These guys are all right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
See, for me, Roger Moore is. I really like Pierce Brosnan out of the modern ones, but Roger Moore will always be like the iconic Bond to me, simply because he was the first, like he was the Bond in like the first Bond movie I ever saw, which was Spy Who Loved Me, which I think is like all around. That's like a really well balanced like classic Bond movie. It's got like a little bit of everything. It's like where he's sleeping with the enemy, and then it's got fucking Jaws in it.
Good old Jaws.
No one has Jaws,
Now,
eh?
now, did that come out after Jaws? Was there like people like sharks now? Throw a gigantic shark in here.
Sharks
Wouldn't
were
doubt it.
always cool, man.
I don't know. Jaws came out in like '77 or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, I wonder about that.
Sharks were always cool.
I think it was Grant that sent us that link, right? How the bonds over the years, how many drinks they've had, how many women they've slept with. Like it's in a chart form.
Yeah.
So it's like it's gradually like increasing how many how many drinks he has mostly. Like just a huge alcoholic.
Maybe he was beat up all the time.
Maybe he was an alcoholic.
Yeah, he's gotta walk it off.
Yeah.
By the time he gets to Brosnan's era, he's like he's going to AA meetings and shit.
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
I do kind of remember, like in the earlier bonds, there's only like one woman. Now there's usually like 2 or 3 women that he sleeps with.
Yeah, they're playing him off.
Man.
I guess in Skyfall, he's just going to be drinking beer.
What?
I heard about that. Yeah, it's like with Heineken, isn't it?
Really?
Yeah,
So
Heineken, it's all...
Is that because of like some...
Is
Is that because of like a bullshit sponsor deal or something?
That's
really
like,
garbage,
it's one thing like taking it in a different direction, but like this whole thing is that he's high class. He drinks high class drinks.
That's like a whole part of the thing is like he says his name and he orders his drink. That is James Bond.
But in John Le Carre 1, he's been
he's
not cared as much, right? It's more about appearances when he's ordering those drinks as opposed to him actually wanting those drinks.
Yeah.
We'll see.
True,
Yeah,
but
I mean,
it's like
the
your
context
signature drink, you know.
Is it like they're doing it to promote their cube
Heineken with
cans?
his pinky sticking.
It's like I'll have a Heineken cube.
Yeah, if he does that, then I'll probably just walk out.
No, I meant 2. I just meant 2.
I feel like that. I feel like his drink was a part of his character, though. You know.
No, I think if you won.
It would be
I don't remember
one
that.
time
You know. Yeah. Like.
What else was I gonna say? Oh yeah. Have you guys seen? Speaking of how awesome Pierce Brosnan was as Bond, have you guys seen The Matador?
No, it was good though.
It's a really awesome movie because it's kind of like he basically plays James Bond in it, but it's like looks at that type of character from a different point of view. So he's like this assassin. He's like an international assassin, like hitman type guy. But he comes into like sort of like a midlife crisis where he can't perform anymore. He has like assassin performance anxiety.
I feel like there's a metaphor behind this.
Well, I think they actually go into that too. He's just like, I can't kill people, and since that's happened, I can't fuck women. And he meets like he's on like a vacation. Well, he's on a job, but he runs with this guy who is on vacation, and he's just like this normal dude that's just like has a family, is like a nobody, and he just kind of relates to him in a bar, and like they kind of become best friends, and then like later on the guy's like kind of calling him up and he's just like, oh, I need your help, I need to talk to you because I gotta kill this guy and I can't. And he's just like, eventually like his nobody friend comes out and like kind of coaxes him through it. He's like, if I don't kill this guy then I'll be dead myself because you know how like that sort of shit works. And I don't know, it's an awesome movie, like you guys really have to see it. Am I the only one that's seen it?
Are you sure that's not that like Sunset?
It came out like 3 years ago.
Something like Sunset something?
No, it wasn't.
He was in another very similar movie called...
Well, that's... I think Pierce Brosnan has been typecasted since
Bond.
Like fucking Thomas Crown Affair, which was also an awesome movie, I have to say. It was.
Everyone's like quiet, silence.
I can't.
No, it's a.
I can't watch any Pierce Brosnan movies anymore though.
Why not?
When I was working at Blockbuster, my manager loved Mamma Mia.
Oh god.
And I probably have seen that movie about 25 times. And Pierce Brosnan just can't sing.
My mom made me watch that. That fucking sucked.
I heard it was a pretty horrible movie to begin with.
I realized I really fucking hate musicals.
Yeah, me too.
I started watching Rock of Ages, and I was like, oh, new Tom Cruise movie. Yeah, and then they all started singing and shit, and I was just like, what the fuck is this shit? I just turned it off. I watched something else.
That goes against everything that was rock and roll.
Yeah.
Swing and hammer.
Do you know what's weird? We haven't heard the alarm once.
I'm really hoping. Can we get the hammer in the shot, or is it outside of the shot?
It's in the shot.
What
the fuck is that squeaking?
So Orrie, tell us about the hammer.
Yeah.
Should I tell the people? Okay. Well, what happened was
People want to know.
I basically played this guy at foosball in the office for dumb bets. And one of the dumb bets I came up with today was whoever loses has to hold the hammer till 5 o'clock.
Whoa!
That's why.
Really?
And at first I thought it'd be easy, but you can't really type.
Exactly. So have you been sitting at your desk with the hammer?
Yeah. I'm just like smacking keys. Have to move the mouse with one hand.
Like, do you use the hammer for like your mouse hand?
Well, I switch it over. I move for this mouse, and then I'll have to switch over.
Does it have to be in your hand, or could you just like put it in?
No, it has to be in the hand.
Oh.
And it basically just slows down everything.
Still
You know,
got
you only have
37
one hand, so I'm moving my mouse around, clicking. Then I have to move over and hit like my hotkeys.
Oh,
then move
man.
back to the mouse.
Oh,
Wow,
see,
that's
this
like
is a bad thing.
working at a quarter of the speed.
Yeah.
Well, it's one thing when you work slow just for the sake of working slow. When you're working slow just because it's hard is another thing.
Yeah, that's just
You know,
frustrating, right?
But when you have to work slow because you're just like, I can't do it right now.
I
It
can't. I
sucks.
can't do twist offs. I have such fucking delicate hands. It doesn't make sense.
My hands are so delicate.
Shut up.
So yeah, that's my story about why I have the hammer.
Now, I have a question for you.
Okay.
In all the matches you play with this man, who shall remain unnamed for some reason, how many of the times have you actually won?
I've beat him once.
Out of how many games? Roughly.
Must have been, I'm sure we played at least 45, 50 games.
And yet you feel compelled to make
Shit, dude, I
bets
beat
that
you
would be
yesterday.
shitty to lose.
Yeah,
at.
I was gonna say. So you make these bets like all the time.
True.
Cause I sit like right by.
Well, no,
I
always
beat
hear
him, I
your
beat him on
guys'
single
crazy-
games,
I think
but
I-
we play a best of 3 series, so I've only ever beaten him once on a best of 3 series.
Oh, okay. I only beat him in 1 game.
Yeah.
I've only ever been in one game too.
You gotta figure out a strategy.
Like 3 or 4.
I'm just gonna break
I was
this
about to
fingers.
question like Ori's motives for like making these bets. Like
Just like a-
it's his own like he's like a sadistic.
I think you toned it down after the sandwich one, where you lost sandwiches.
Yeah,
to-
that was a very bad choice.
What's it, 2017? When you can have
20,
him?
nope. Yeah, 2017.
Can you blame him though? He doesn't even know what he wants. He doesn't even have a soul.
Yeah.
How can you know what you want if you don't even have a soul?
Can't have sandwiches until 2017.
Yeah. That was pretty
I lost my soul to him as well.
Yeah.
That's
Brian was a noble.
So you've
trying to
never
get
had, you
Subway.
haven't had like Subway?
I haven't had Subway since.
God, that's.
I'm actually kind of proud of it. Like,
That's harsh, man.
I really wanted to have Subway last
Yesterday
couple
and the
days.
day before that, like on Wednesday, I went and got some Subway, and it was so fucking good. I got the exact same thing the next day, because I was just like, that was the best fucking
love
Subway
it.
I've ever.
I went on Monday. Get some
Yeah.
Subway. So good.
Yeah, man, I love a good Subway. I used to know a friend that could
Pizza
not.
Yola?
It's
I
almost
used-
been a year since I've had.
I still stick with the classic. I'm a cheap bastard.
When you get like the egg salad or
No,
something.
I did the
Pizza
egg
sub.
salad one time. It was disgusting.
Yeah, you don't
I
do
did like ham or pizza sub.
Cold cut combo.
That's the
Cold
thing.
cut-
I mean,
cold cuts
was it
sometimes.
like $6?
Yeah, it's like $6.35.
I missed that. I miss having a $6 lunch. That was very filling.
I
or
used
the
to.
secret sandwich place.
I had a friend who could not walk into a Subway because you know how Subway has a very like distinct smell.
It
Yeah.
follows you home sometimes. That happens to me. I would go to Subway and leave with some kind of strange smell. I don't know
I
what
just
it is.
picture like this dark cloud of Subway smell following you.
It's some kind of evil entity that just it manifests afterwards.
Do you not like the smell?
I don't know what
that
it
the
is. No, do you guys experience that?
Did someone else complain about it?
I mean, other people I've talked to have complained about it, but
Fuck, Dan, you smell like Subway.
no, you can't identify it as Subway, but it's a smell that sort of
Oh.
changes after Subway.
Oh, there we go.
I think you might just smell it.
Bad BO.
Yeah.
That could be
The
it.
wind changes
Or do
after
you
I
want
leave
beer?
Subway.
I'm good.
There's smells when you work at certain fast food places.
But
Like,
I
I
think-
worked at McDonald's a long, long time ago, but yeah, that
Oh.
shit'll follow you home.
You guys have had
Yeah.
some
Oh yeah,
shitty
that's
jobs.
McDonald's. That's gonna do that.
I've had some pretty shitty jobs, but not like
I've had decent jobs. I haven't had anything really shitty or.
I worked at
The
Dairy Queen
Blockbuster.
for a year and a half.
Really? Blockbuster is just you hang out and watch movies all
Making
day.
$5
Yeah,
to
bad.
$5.90
There's so many
an hour
girls around.
90.
for a year and a half. And
Dairy
then
Queen.
when I quit,
Like
the
I worked
boss
at Dairy
gave everyone
Queen.
a 10-cent raise.
I don't know where the girls hang
Is
out.
that where girls hang out? The
Yeah.
fucking Dairy Queen?
Yeah,
There
they
were
all
quite a
work
few
there.
girls there. Yeah.
Jeez.
If you're in a small town, that's where they all are.
Yeah, but is that just like the fatty girls who are like, give me my blizzard?
Well, I don't know. I think everyone likes ice cream though.
Blizzard, please.
Maybe not with
Any
the
girl
start
loves
working
ice cream.
there, but.
One girl got fired for stealing a cake.
In my small
I've
town,
known a
all
number of
the
girls
pretty
that-
girls work at
You
Boston.
had to quit those jobs because it was
Yeah,
just
just-
too
yeah,
accessible.
Yeah.
It's like
I have a friend
waitress.
who works
just get
at
bored and you eat.
like a designer handbag store, and he literally like picks up these sugar moms, I guess.
What?
Sugar mamas.
Like
Milfs.
he works at this designer handbag store. I think it's like a Chanel store or something. So he's selling people Chanel bags, and the whole time he's like hitting on these
meets a certain type of woman.
Well,
which,
anyone who can buy a Chanel bag has got money.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
he's just all in there.
Holy shit.
Hey, you know what? Calgary has a surplus of MILFs, single, like, divorced old ladies, because if you think about it, like, this is a money town, so lots of guys come here to make a lot of money, right? And then a lot of hot girls come here to, you know, take advantage of all the rich guys. So the rich, and then they get like married or whatever, and as they grow older, then the rich guys go for the newer breed of the hot girls that are still coming here for the guys with money. So you get all these like rich MILFs left over just trying to find, you know, some whatever
harsh.
they can get. So there's a lot of MILFs in this town just trying to get whatever the fuck they can take.
DataCougar.com.
Last year's models when they upgrade.
Yeah.
I'm really
This
glad
is
we don't
Cougar Town.
generalize on this podcast.
Huh?
Never generalize on this podcast.
Not at all.
DataCougar.com.
Is that a site?
Isn't it?
I hear
I
those
see
are
that.
actually real.
Yeah, no, there's Cougar
Cougar Life?
Cougar Life, yeah, something
I've seen
like
it
that.
on TV.
It's funny because my girlfriend
Cougar
was like
Town?
giving me
Sure,
shit the other
already.
day. Where
TV.
not giving me shit, but she was
Yeah.
you know how they have like smart ads, like Google ads or whatever, that like they look at like your sex and your age and what you've like when you show interest in due to your Google searches, and they like cater certain ads to you specifically because you are most likely to be in that market. So my girlfriend the other day got one for like cougarlife.com because she's like 31 and a woman pretty much. So she was like,
In that
wow.
cougar.
She felt so insulted.
Sign up today.
She like qualifies as a cougar now.
Speaking of which, how do you guys feel about like
Older
kind of
women?
them tracking your search patterns and then building a search history almost
Yeah.
for you, for specifically you?
I don't like it, but
I don't
there's
like
not
it.
many ways around it,
Exactly,
so I
what
tend
can
to
you
just
do?
be like, yeah.
Because like that's the nasty thing and the beauty thing of the internet is there's no rules. So it's
True.
good that people have freedom, they can do what they want, but at the same time, people do a lot of nasty shit and dirty, underhanded shit they get away with.
Yeah, just
You know what? Like I
let
don't.
it bother me.
Yeah, I don't care.
Just clear out the search.
The whole thing with like internet privacy and stuff like that, and also just like your cell phone having like a GPS that every once in a while like might go off, and people are like, I don't like the government knowing where I am and what I'm doing and stuff like that. It's like, why the fuck do you care? It's like unless you're doing something
If you have something
really
to hide,
wrong, yeah, then like what's the big difference? If
Everyone has something.
yeah, if
to hide.
unless you're doing something bad, then you're really fucking boring. Like everyone else, and the government won't give a shit about you.
But I mean, okay, here's the thing. Maybe not so much for the government thing, but I mean, especially for Google, if you think about it. Let's say Dan's getting different results I'm getting when I search the same thing, because they're
Just because he also looks at child porn.
Of course.
You guys know? What?
This is gonna end up.
That's gonna be like what?
I'm gonna show
I'm on the
up-
other end of that scale,
The
man.
trailer,
I go for
the
granny
trailer
porn.
cut right
Oh, okay, there you go. Okay.
It's always better when they can take
Well,
the
that's
teeth
not
out.
illegal.
It's not.
You're not gonna go to jail.
But here's what I'm saying. Like,
You get it fucking.
we think it's just all innocent. Like, oh, they're just trying to help us find our thing better. But let's say
Oh, that's marketing.
Google wants to push a certain agenda. You know, now you're getting this. You're
Such
seeing what
as?
they want you to see.
Which
What
is
do they want
it's
us to
content
see?
filtering,
You know.
in whatever their agenda.
Like, I
is.
mean, remember, I think over the summer when I think Google shut down for like a day or something?
Oh, when they went black, the
Yeah.
black day.
Yeah,
For like, what is it, SOPA?
something like that.
Mm-hmm.
To overturn a bill. I mean, when you think about that,
Yeah.
you're like, think of how much power Google has to just say, I'm going to shut down for today. You know, and then they're like,
What?
at the time they're like, well, we're kind of fucked. We have to overturn this bill. Like, look what happened from one day of no Google.
Yeah.
You know, think of a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is that
What?
right now Google doesn't seem to have any crazy, like horrible intentions with it, because that was to try to stop.
Exactly. I mean, I'm
government.
saying they don't have any bad intentions about it, but like, I mean, when you take into account how much power they're holding right now,
Yeah, it kind of
Maybe
does.
they
So,
want you to think.
like, I
they
mean, what
don't
other
have
search
bad
engines do you guys
intentions
use?
by doing that?
yeah.
But
Bing.
but if
Do you
that-
really use Bing?
Only when I'm going through my Xbox.
But if that happened,
I mean,
Yeah.
I can't change my homepage back to Google. For some
we're not
reason.
parrots. We can't just say go somewhere else instead of Google.
That's the thing too. Like, I mean, it's kind of like a monopoly of.
Well, essentially, like, privacy is a right, and by Google not giving any privacy, they're kind of trampling on that right. But then again, they're providing the service, so they don't have to give you that right.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing, because
it's like we need privacy.
This issue's been brought up recently because Twitter has, for the first time, banned a Twitter account because it was an account in Germany that was a neo-Nazi group that were like twittering stuff like that, or like Nazi crazy shit, and Twitter was just like, you know what, fuck you.
I think that's a little different of a story though, because those guys, what they were saying, as far as I'm aware of some German laws, they were actually breaking the law on Twitter, because you can't just say whatever you want about Nazis and their kind of stuff.
True.
Germany, there's a lot of laws that got put in place after World War II.
Yeah,
so
they're kind of tight-lipped about stuff.
But yeah, that's true, because it was region specific. Like they only banned what they were saying in Germany.
Yeah.
But it's still that thing where like it is a service provided by a company, and it's not necessarily something that like you should have your like government issued rights on, because it's something that you're like choosing to use.
Yeah.
If you don't like the way Facebook or Google works, just fucking
which is true.
don't use it, right?
Which is true.
If you don't like Starbucks, just don't go there.
That's a good point.
That's a good point.
Like coffee.
Use Yahoo.
Metacrawler.
Oh, just aging us right now.
Ask Jeeves.
I've never heard of that.
Ask Jeeves was horrible.
Yeah.
I hate how you
What
actually
am I
have
supposed to
a
ask
question
him?
for him.
Yeah.
How you doing today, Jeeves?
I search a lot of things. Every now and then I go into Google and I actually ask like a sentence question. To, like,
Actually,
try
I
and
do that
find
too
help.
nowadays.
You ever see those weird like they post on like Reddit or the Chat or whatever, where it's like just ridiculous things of like people start typing in an innocent question and they get the most random fucked up questions like why do I cry?
Oh.
Why do I cry tears? Why does my sandy vagina bleed blood? Like all these ridiculous
I
things.
don't think that one is actually real.
Why do
No, I don't know.
smells follow me home from Subway?
I know what you mean though.
I've seen a couple of them.
I saw this one where it's like just like there was one person just like, is it wrong to? And then the first thing that popped up, have sex with your sibling.
Oh, so that's the most common search.
After that, yeah.
There was one that I saw that was
Yeah.
comparing
It's kinda
bad
interesting.
grammar, and it was like if you spell "you-are" versus "your," like you get different search results, and it was like "you-are," it was like how to stop yourself from having like or from getting an abortion or something like that. Like there's all stuff predicated to that, and then if you just put "your," then it was like all pretty innocent and stuff.
I remember seeing a funny one of those where it was just like, is it wrong to like, I think you put like, is it wrong to, and then you just L, and then it will autofill with laugh while someone, fart while someone is crying, or something like that. It was ridiculous.
We're gonna watch a movie soon, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Episode 7?
8? Is the
What?
next one? This is 7, I think. That's the bottom stuff.
Yeah, so,
Who's gonna close it? Close it.
Let's do it. Say goodbye, Dan.
What are we saying? Oh, goodbye. This was the Illustrator podcast number
7.
7.
Sweet Jarrett.